Hi, I'm Monisa of Ezeebeady. Today I'm going to show you how to make this bracelet. I've called it Quilted Squares Rounduos. It's using these Rounduos again. I've fallen in love with these beads, I think they're amazing. I'm also using Superduos and seed beads. I've made this one 8 components long and it fits me just nicely. Okay, you can mess about with the colours how you wish. You could even use all the same colour Superduos, but I just thought the contrast of them was lovely. So I'll just let you know what you need and we'll get going. Right, for this tutorial I'm using 11/0 Myuki seed beads. These are silver lined dark topaz AB. I've got my first colour of Superduos. These are chalk. Second colour of Superduos. These are Ruby Lustre. And I've got Rounduos. These are white. These are by the PotomacBead Co, and that is the only place you can get them there. They are exclusive to them. I've got a beading needle, bent as usual. I am using KO thread. Now ideally you would need a colour that matches your lightest colour, but all I've got is black. You can use Fireline, but it's just a lot easier with KO, but Fireline is perfectly acceptable. For the first component I'm using a good arm span of thread. I've got a pair of scissors. Pliers would be handy. It would be if I knew where they were for the tight spots. So to begin with, like I said, a good arm span of thread onto your needle. We need 4 of your white Superduos, or the colour you want in the centre, some seed beads. Alternate a Superduo with a seed bead. So I've got 4 of each. Set these down to the end of your thread and put a couple of good knots in there. Try and pull it nice and tight, but the way I pull my knot in, it loosens it up anyway. But do it tight. Okay, so I'm going to go into my Superduo through a seed bead. I'm going to hold my work and pull my knot in. So I've pulled my knot away from my tail. I'm just going to go do that one more time so that I can pull it in a bit more and just pull it through. So now I'm going to go right round this a couple of times without pulling, because I don't want my knot to move anymore. Go past my tail. Once you've gone around a few more beads, you can start pulling it again, but not too hard. If you wish, just go around again when you first thread them on and tie a knot, but you'll have to pull your thready tail away with another needle. But I like doing it this way because I'm lazy. Okay, so I'm just going to go through another couple, and I need to come out of a Superduo. And I'm going to cut my tail off. So that's what you've got so far. So you're coming out with the Superduo and you're going to step up the same Superduo that you're coming out of. And I'm going to turn it over so I'm working in the right direction for me. Now you need your second colour superduos. So we're picking up a superduo, your round duo and a superduo, and we're going to jump this gap and go into the next hole of the next superduo. So we're going to repeat that. We need a superduo, a round duo and a superduo, jump in the gap and into the hole of the next superduo. So it's a superduo, a round duo and a superduo, jump in the gap and into the next superduo. And one more time, superduo, a round duo and a superduo. I'm going into the same superduo that we started with and out through the next superduo. Just make sure they all lay flat, because they sometimes do want to twist themselves around. Okay, so give that a gentle pull and just squish it a bit with your fingers, make sure it's all flat. And that's what you've got so far. It's very loose at the moment, so we're going to go right round this at least one more time. Go into your round superduos by themselves, because that's kind of like a corner. So if you try and go through several beads there at a time, it will just keep loosening it up and you won't be getting anywhere. And also be very careful not to catch your thread on any of the beads, because there's a lot to catch on to. Just go right around the edge. I've gone through 3 superduos there in one go, but like I said, go through your round duos separately. And when you pull in the direction that you're going in. Now if I was to go into that round duo at the same time, because that hole is diagonally on, it'd just pull it out. So it's best just to go through your 3 superduos if you can, and then your round duo. And that starts to tighten it up nicely. And if necessary, with your superduos, go through them separately. Just take your time. And again, like I said, making sure you don't catch your thread on any of the beads, because it just tend to snag on the beads. Just as you're pulling it down, just be careful. Made myself a loop there. And your round duo by itself. Watching your thread as it goes down, just to make sure it goes in the right place. And once you've gone round at least one more time, I'm coming out of this round duo So I'm going to go into one superduo there and just come out the other side of that. It'll just hide the thread better in there. And then, so I'm coming out of that superduo that is right against the round duo, and I'm going to step up through that top hole. And that's what you've got so far. So I'm going to turn it over. We need some more seed beads. So I'm coming out with this superduo at the top now. Like I said, I've turned it over. So I'm going to pick up two 11/0 seed beads and go into the top hole of the round duo. Pick up two 11/0 seed beads and go into the superduo. Pick up one 11/0 seed bead and go into the next superduo. Pick up two 11/0 seed beads and into the round duo. Pick up two 11/0 seed beads and into the superduo. And now we need our connecting piece, so I'm going to pick up the first colour superduo and go into the next superduo. So let's just pop that in there. Pick up two 11/0 seed beads and into the round duo. Pick up two 11/0 seed beads and into the superduo. Pick up one 11/0 seed bead and into the superduo. Pick up two 11/0 seed beads and into the round duo. Pick up two 11/0 seed beads and into the superduo. And again, now we're opposite this side, so we need to put another one of these in. So back to our first colour superduo, pick that up and pop it in there. And you're going into the next superduo. So we need to go through the next two seed beads. And now I'm going to pick up three 11/0 seed beads. I'm going around the round duo and into the next two seed beads. And what I'm aiming for is to come out the other side of this row here. So just go through as many as you can. And I'm coming out now of the other two seed beads. So I've just popped them three seed beads in there. So again, we're picking up three 11/0 seed beads and I'm going into the next two seed beads. And I'm going to go straight through these three superduos, one at a time if necessary. If it'll let you through, then go through. Go through the next superduo and the next two seed beads. So again, pick up three 11/0 seed beads and going into the next two seed beads. And again, I need to go through all these outer edge holes here and come out the other side of these seed beads. So now I need to pick up another three seed beads and go into them two seed beads that are right next to where I'm coming out of. And I'm going to go right round this one more time, just to strengthen these corners up. Again, being careful not to catch the thread on anything. So I'm going down the last side now. And all I'm going to do now is just go through the seed beads, not the Superduo. So I'm coming out at the end of my row of seed beads there. I'm going to pick up 2 seed beads, go into the top hole. I'm going to pick up another 2 seed beads and go into the seed bead, 2 seed beads right next to it. Now I just need to do like a little U-turn, so I know there's a hole in that Rounduo because they were the 2 seed beads that were put in earlier on, so I know there's a thread path down there. So I've gone through down there through the Rounduo. It's quite easy to get into. And now I'm going to go up 3 seed beads there that we've just added. I'm just going to turn over and then I'm going back up the 2 seed beads and up the 2 seed beads that we've just added on the side of the Superduo. And now I'm going to pick up 3 seed beads and go down the next 2 seed beads on the other side of that Superduo, and I'm going to go straight into the 2 seed beads that are in between the Superduo and the Rounduo, and again I'm going to do that U-turn. So it's into the Rounduo, up the 3 seed beads on the edge of the Rounduo, and again back up the edge of these seed beads, just that row of seed beads there. I'm aiming to come out of this middle seed bead that I've just added around the outside of the Superduo. So I'm just going to turn it over. Now we'll just need to go through the next 2 seed beads. And you can see these 3 are the 3 that I added around the top of that Superduo. I'm just going to put my loop on there. So I'm going to pick up 9 seed beads. So I've got 9 seed beads there. I'm going to make a loop right in there. So I'm just basically going around that seed bead that I'm coming out of and going back in the other side. This is usually better done with the loop is usually better done with 15-aught seed beads because it's easy for the clasp to go into, but I don't have this colour in 15-aught, so 11-aught will have to do. Now I'm going to go around this circle a couple of times to make sure it's nice and strong. It will pull out a shape, but just be careful not to miss any. Make sure you go back into the one that you've gone around in the first place. I've just got to put my thumb over my work. I know you can't see it, but all I'm doing is pulling my thread. I've just got to put my thumb on to hold it and give me something to pull against. I'm just going to go around that one more time. 11/0 seed beads are quite good at letting you go through, so now you've got a couple of options here. You can either take your time, and I'm just coming out of the seed bead before the one in the middle. Now you can go straight down the side there and then cut across and go back up and round again. That attaches your loop a little bit. It's just, I think it would be better if you did it, just give this loop a bit of strength. So that seed bead there is the one in the middle, and I'm coming out of the one just before it. So I'm going to go down the side. You can just do this little loop that I did before, it'll work, and then go into the two that are attached to that Rounduo again, into your Rounduo, back up those three that are on the outside of the Rounduo, just giving you a little U-turn there, and then back up the edge, beads, and then I'm going straight back into the loop. I'm not going into that one at the top of the picot, I'm going straight into the loop, go right around your loop, and again come out of the seed bead that is just before the centre one of that little picot. Okay, that one there is the one that's on the picot. I'm coming out of the one just before it, and now I'm going to go straight down the side of the Superduo. That just tightens that up nicely, makes it secure, and then I'm going to go straight down the edge seed beads. If you wish, you can just loop round again. If you think your thread will, you know, your your bead will take the thread, then fine, go around again. I'm just going to go around the outside now and tie off. I'm going to put my knots right before my superduos. So just before the superduo there, so I'm going to pop a knot in and just be careful it goes in the right place. So I'm going to go through my superduo now. And I've gone through the seed bead next to it, so I'm coming out of the seed bead that is in between the two superduos. It's a little bit tight. But I'm going to put another knot in there. And go back into my superduo. I'm going to go through 2 seed beads, and I know there's a thread from that seed bead into this superduo, so if I just put my needle down there and back up the other side, it'll catch that thread, so I can pop a knot in there as well. I've just got a little loop. I'm just going to thread through the loop twice, pull that gently and slowly, make sure it goes down, and go into the Rounduos. So that's your first component done. So cut your thread off, and that's what you've got. Right, so to make the next component, if you've seen my forget-me-not bracelet and my Rounduos, round duo diamond bracelet, it's the same sort of method. I just make the components as I go along and attach them as I go along. So for the next one, get your superduo, your centre colour, a seed bead, superduo, seed bead, superduo, seed bead, superduo, and seed bead. So we've got 4 of each. Take them down to the end of your thread and do your knot again. And like I said, if you prefer, go through these beads again, then put your knot in, but you need to thread your tail away. So I'm going to go into my superduo now. I'm going to pull my knot into my beads. So I've gone through the superduo and the seed bead. And I'm going to hold it with my finger and my thumb and just give that a pull, and the knot goes in. And I've gone through the superduo and the seed bead. And again, just hold it with your finger and thumb and pull your knot in. And I'm not going to pull it anymore, so I'm just going to pull it gently so it's not got pulling my knot through. And I'm going to go right round these one more time. It's there, I can feel it. And again, I need to come out of a Superduo, so I'll just come out of that Superduo there. And be careful not to cut your working thread, but your tail. You can cut your tail off. That's what you've got, a little star. So we need to step up. We're coming out of the seed bead, and we need, we're coming out of the Superduo, and we need to step up into the next hole. Turn it over, and we're going to do our second colour of Superduos. So we need Superduo, your Rounduo, and a Superduo, skipping the gap, and into the round Superduo. Pick up a Superduo, a Rounduo, and a Superduo, skipping the gap, and into the next Superduo. Pick up a Superduo, a Rounduo, and a Superduo, and into the next Superduo. Pick up a Superduo, a Rounduo, and a Superduo, and we're going into the first Superduo that we came out of, and into the next Superduo. And again, with the first component, just make sure that all sits properly. And like I was just about to say, again with the first component, we're going to go through the Rounduos by themselves. Don't attempt to go through more than one at that point. But you can try and get through your Superduos. So I'm just going to go right round this edge again. Being careful not to catch any of your thread on any of your beads.
Gentle pull each time.
So that's what you've got so far. I'm coming out of the Rounduo. I'm going to go into the next Superduo, just that one, and come out in there. So I'm going to step up into that Superduo, and again just need to turn my work over so I'm working in the right direction for me. So now we need our seed beads again. So I'm coming out of this Superduo here, and I'm going to pick up 2 seed beads and go into the Rounduo. That hole's a bit blocked, but it cleared up nicely. Pick up 2 11/0 seed beads, and I'm going to go into the Superduo. Pick up 1 seed bead and into the next Superduo. Pick up 2 seed beads and into the Rounduo. Pick up 2 seed beads and into the next Superduo. Now we need our connecting Superduo, so I'm picking up 1 white Superduo of our centre colour and going into the next Superduo. Pick up 2 11/0 seed beads and into the top hole of the Rounduo. Pick up 2 11/0 seed beads, and into the next Superduo. Pick up one 11/0 seed bead and into the next Superduo. Pick up two 11/0 seed beads and into the round duo. Pick up two 11/0 seed beads and into the Superduo. So now this is where we need to make our connection, because we've got this end here ready for the next component, but we need to attach this component to the one we've got ready, which is the one with the clasp. So I'm coming out of the centre of the two Superduos, and I'm going to go into the centre, the whole of that centre Superduo there. And then I'm going to go into the component we are connecting, back into that Superduo there. I've actually gone through the two seed beads, that's absolutely fine. So when you pull that, it'll bring them together. Now they're not going to stay together just yet until we've made a few more stitches, but that's the idea there. Okay. So now we need to attach our 3 seed beads around the outside here. So we're picking up 3 seed beads, and once more we're going to aim to go down this side. So I've come out with the 2 seed beads at the far side, just give that a gentle pull, pick up 3 seed beads, and I'm going to go into the next 2 seed beads, and I need to go through all 3 of these Superduos. I've gone through 1, 2 and 3, and through the next 2 seed beads, picking up 3 seed beads and into the next 2 seed beads, and once again I need to go through all this outer edge to the other end of it. So I'm coming out of the 2 seed beads now. So picking up 3 seed beads and into the 2 seed beads there, and again I need to go right through these 3 Superduos here. I've managed to go through 2 Superduos. Did I say seed beads? I meant Superduos. And that's the third one. Okay, so now what I'm aiming to do is to go right round this edge just to strengthen it. So I'm just going to turn it over, and I'm going to go right round this edge, including these 3 Superduos. So I'm almost back at the beginning now, but I do need to go through these Superduos again, and that way I've gone through these 3 times. So So I know that's 3 threads running through there, and that should be sufficient to give it enough strength. Okay, so I'm just at the other side of the 3 superduos now, and I'm going to go around these seed beads along this edge and come out just before this superduo here, because that's where I want to put my first knot. So I'm just going to go up there and put a knot in there. Make sure it goes in the right place. And into the superduo and the seed bead, and again I'm coming out just before the superduo there, so I'm going to put another knot in. And then into the superduo. And then I'm going to go through the next 2 seed beads, and I know from them 2 seed beads into that Rounduo there is a thread, so I'm going to go in between the seed beads and the superduo, and then up the other side of where I know the thread is, and I'm going to loop through that loop just a couple of times, and that'll give me another knot in that thread. Just pull that down and then go into the round duo and pull that knot in. And that's how you make your connections. Cut your thread off. So just keep going. I'll come back to you. I think 8 components is that's what I'm going to do. And then I'll show you how to put your clasp on at the end. Right, so one more last part. I've got 7 so far, so I'm making my 8th. I've taken it as far as just starting to put the outer layer on. So I'm coming out of this top superduo here. I've just picked up 2 11/0 seed beads, and I'm going into the top hole of the Rounduo, picking up 2 11/0 seed beads and going into the superduo, picking up 1 11/0 seed bead and into the superduo, 2 11/0 seed beads into the Rounduo, 2 11/0 seed beads and into the superduo, now I'm picking up a white superduo, same as my middle colour, and popping it in between them 2 superduos there, picking up 2 11/0 seed beads and into the Rounduo, 2 11/0 seed beads and going into the superduo, 1 11/0 seed bead and into the next superduo, picking up 2 excuse me 11/0 seed beads and into the Rounduo, oops, picking up 2 11/0 seed beads into the superduo. Okay, so now I'm opposite where I put my connecting superduo, so I need to connect to the rest of my bracelets. So I'm going into the superduo of my bracelet and into the next superduo on the connecting component. I'm going to try and go through through the seed beads as well. Make sure you don't make a loop with your thread, and pull them together. There we go. So like I said, that's going to stay loose for a bit until I've put my connecting bits on. So I'm picking up 3 seed beads, and I'm going into the next 2 seed beads. And once again, I'm aiming to get to the other side of all this row of beads here. Just go through what you can. Just remember to keep pulling that tight to pull that connecting component up. I'll just caught my beads somewhere. There we go. And just give that a pull, just to pull that tight there. Try and hold it best you can, but eventually it will just hold itself. So now I'm picking up 3 11/0 seed beads into the next 2 seed beads. I'm going to go straight through those 3 superduos. So you've got to be careful of your thread catching on your beads. Through the next 2 seed beads, picking up 3 11/0 seed beads and going into the next 2 seed beads, and again as far through the next little beads as you can to get to the other side of them. Picking up 3 11/0 seed beads into the next 2 seed beads. Now back to my connection again, so I'm going to go straight through these 3 superduos. So I've gone right round, so I'm going to go back up this side here and come out of the end of these seed beads, so I can put my clasp on. Just work your way up. So I'm now coming out of the end of the seed beads, but right before this Superduo, I'm going to pick up two 11/0 seed beads, and I'm going to go into the top hole of that Superduo there. Pick up two 11/0 seed beads and we'll go straight into the next two seed beads, and again I want to do a U-turn here, so I'm going to go down the next three seed beads and into the Rounduo, and then I need to go back into the next two seed beads and back up these two seed beads that are right against the Superduo. So now I need to get my clasp. I think I forgot to tell you I'm using a lobster claw clasp. So I'm picking up one seed bead, pick your clasp up, and one seed bead. I'm going to go around the top of this Superduo here and into the two seed beads, and I'm going to go straight down the next two seed beads into the next three seed beads, and once again I want to do a U-turn, so I'm going into my Rounduo, and up the next two seed beads, and then I'm going to go right round the edge of this Superduo by going around the seed beads and through the clasp. I'm going to do this a couple of times to make sure my clasp is strong. So I've just gone through my clasp, so I'm going back down the other side, through the two seed beads and then the next three. That's the three that we added on the outer edge of the Rounduo, and again up the Rounduo, might be getting a bit tight now, but it's the hole's big enough to take the thread. Just be careful that your thread goes in the right place, and I'm going to go around this one more time. If you're happy with 3 times, then leave it at that. I might just go around one more. I'd rather my clasp be nice and solid, so just keep following that route until you think it's sufficient. So you're going around the 3 on the outside of that Rounduo, and then back up your Rounduo, and right round these beads one more time, and that I'll be happy with. That way your clasp should be nice and attached. So now instead of going back into the Rounduo, I'm going to go right around the edge of this last component. Thread's getting a bit twisted, so I'll just undo that. So I'm just going through them 3 on the outer edge one more time, but instead of going into that Rounduo, like I said, I'm going to go straight down and right around the edge. To make it nice and secure around the edge. Before I go in that Superduo though, I'm going to pop a knot in there. Because I can feel it starting to get a bit tight, so I might struggle to get my knots in further on, so I'd rather put them there now. And if I have to stop, it's fine. Put another knot in there. Like I said, just making sure it goes in the right place. Pull your knot in. Putting up the next 2 seed beads. And like I did with the other components, I'm going to put a knot right against that Rounduo in the thread that is in between them. You can't see the thread, but you know it's there. You also know if you haven't got it like that. So we'll just try that again. I'm not too worried about that knot in my thread because I'm not going through any of the beads with it, so that'll be fine. So now I'm just going to pop it into my Rounduo. And cut my thread off. And there you go. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 components long. Okay, and that, I have a small wrist and that would fit me just nicely. It'd fit somebody with a little bit bigger wrist. But it feels lovely, it's nice and smooth. So I mean, have fun with it, change up the colours. So there you've got your quilted squares Rounduo bracelet. I'm Mo Neeson of Ezeebeady. You can find me on Facebook, just search for Ezeebeady and I'll put a link in the description box. I'll put the quantity items of beads that you need to make an 8 component bracelet. Please like and subscribe, and it'll be lovely to see some of your pictures of the tutorials that you follow of mine on Facebook. Thanks for watching, see you next time, bye.